If someone is telling you that it doesn't matter if there's a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, they are lying to you. Lying to you. Lying to you.
Well, this is a video I never thought I would make. Now, really, all I want to do is show you this video from Jeranism. Will I have something to say? If you answered no, then you don't know me at all. But I do think it's important that we look at this video and understand exactly what Jeranism is experiencing within the Flat Earth community. So, let's do it, shall we? Please subscribe.
So I'd like to think if you're here watching this show, you are actually a truth seeker. And if you are a truth seeker, then you shouldn't appreciate other truthers lying to your face. Listen again. Anybody telling you that the 24-hour sun in Antarctica doesn't matter is a liar.
Last week I made a response to Eric Dubay's response to the final experiment. Now, I like to think that my videos are pretty well researched and as accurate as I can possibly make them. And when I came across this on Patreon this morning from the real nuclear physicist on YouTube endorsing my content to his followers, well, I thought I must be doing something right. Thank you, pal. Now, I've never made a video about Jeranism before, so this is a strange one for me to make because I actually feel like, given the contents of his video, Jeranism is showing every other flat earther on the planet how things should be done. Does he say some things I completely disagree with? Yeah, of course he does. He's still a flat earther. But does he say a lot in this video that makes perfect sense? Yes. Yes, he does. So, Jeran, over to you, pal.
Listen again. Anybody telling you that the 24-hour sun in Antarctica doesn't matter is a liar. Why? Because it's impossible on our motherfucking model.
Now, we'll talk about the model a little bit further into the video, but keep it in your mind because it is a very important part of Jeran's reaction to the Eric Dubay video that I've already covered.
So if you're one of these people that continues to say, doesn't matter, it's just lights in the sky, yeah, it doesn't matter then if you don't care about believing in the impossible.
Now, I get that Jeranism probably wouldn't want to say what I'm about to say in his video because, as I've said, he's still a flat earther and he's already under attack from other flat earthers, but isn't believing in the impossible kind of what belief in a flat earth is.
The flat earth model has no mechanism. There's no way to explain it. None whatsoever. Now, you might say, well, it doesn't change, Jaron, the fact that the ground is measured flat. Yeah, I get that. But also, if there's something that is impossible, that you are just going to say, well, I still believe what I believe, even though it has an impossibility, I have a problem with that.
And you should have a problem with it, pal. In fact, all flat earthers should have a problem with it. But sadly, most of the other flat earthers out there are just doubling down and saying it doesn't matter. And to me, as somebody that debunks flat earth, what that says to me is that they don't care about any sort of evidence if there's any possibility that it's gonna spoil their fun when it comes to believing that the earth is flat.
You got Eric Dubay. We're gonna watch his video right now so that you can see what he had to say, and then I'll show you him in the past. Now, if somebody's flip-flopping on you, if somebody's telling you in the original, oh, it does matter, and then all of a sudden now they're saying it doesn't,
it means that they all realize that the final experiment is devastating to the flat earth.
Do you understand that that person is trying to protect something? Now, maybe he's trying to cover his ass. Let's say we go down there and we see the 24-hour sun. Guess who is immediately on my list as the prime suspect shill CIA agent?
Eric Dubay.
It's the who brought us the map. So of course he's backtracking now. It's the map that he gave everybody.
Now, I've got to be completely honest here. I had no idea that the flat earth map that most flat earthers reference was presented to them by Eric Dubay. And if I had known that before I responded to Eric's video, well, it would have been a very different video.
Where did I first see the AE map? Atlantean Conspiracy. Said it from day one. Okay, where did everyone else feel like they got their flat earth information from? Eric Dubay. Eric Dubay, who never mentioned flat earth before 2014, all of a sudden comes out with a book and has everything figured out come 2015.
So what you're saying then, Jeran, is that pre-2014, Dubay wasn't a flat earther at all, and in 2014, which was when flat earth really started to find some traction on the internet, he suddenly became one, presented you all with a map, and then wrote a book about it. Oh yeah, he's definitely not a shill then, is he?
So if you can't see what a true shill is, I don't know if I can help you. I've always said there isn't a shill in the flat earth, but there may be one.
The reason I wanted to make this video is because I wanted to show Jaron that even though we're on completely opposite sides of the argument, I actually feel a certain amount of support for what he's doing. And I called this when we had our meeting initially about the final experiment, when I said that whichever flat earther, why did I say that with such emphasis on the wha? I'm not Stewie Griffin.
Yeah, Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
But anyway, I said in the initial final experiment meeting that whichever flat earther agrees to go to Antarctica to witness the 24-hour sun will get ganged up on by every other flat earther. And isn't that exactly what's happening?
Now, another thing that doesn't make any sense is if I guess that what you're saying is that I believe in the, I don't know. We'll have to listen to Eric here. And it's only a 5-minute video. Let's have a listen, since I've had it sent to me by many people. And nobody has been able to get anything from it other than, oh, this guy's calling out. Why is he saying? Where it's like, did he give you any mechanism for what he's about to say? Of course not.
Yeah, you're right, Jaron. He doesn't even try to debunk anything based around the final experiment. His video is basically just exactly what I anticipated happening, and he is just trying to discredit any flat earther who's shown any sort of interest in being part of the final experiment.
Let's watch.
Recently, a wealthy globe Earth proponent named Will Duffy launched a campaign dubbed The Final Experiment, which he claims will finally settle the globe versus flat Earth debate forever. The results of this experiment are allegedly so conclusive that once conducted and completed, all flat earthers will be forced to concede and admit defeat. So what is Will's brilliant idea? What is his ingenious experiment to finally silence all globe skepticism? Invite 12 flat earth YouTubers and 12 globe earth YouTubers to Antarctica in December to see if there's a midnight sun. In other words, the final experiment is not an experiment, and not even a demonstration, but merely an observation.
Yeah, it's just merely an observation. And if we observe something that's impossible in our model, who cares, right? I mean, who cares? We're not in this for truth. Okay? If we were in this for truth, then things like impossibilities, impossible observations would matter.
We can see that it matters to you, Jaron, and I applaud you for it, because you were one of the flat earthers who raised his hand and said, yeah, I'll go, even though you know that this is going to destroy flat earth. The problem is that every other flat earther I've seen talk, well, maybe not every other flat earther, but the majority of other flat earthers I've seen discussing the final experiment are all just trying to discredit it. And nothing says I'm confident in my position like trying to discredit something rather than addressing it and even debunking it. And the fact that you have volunteered to go tells me that you are confident in your position. Is your position wrong? In my opinion, absolutely it's wrong. The earth isn't flat. But you were willing to take that risk, which in my humble opinion, for what it's worth, puts you 1,000,000 miles above every other flat earther on the internet.
But not us. We're flat earthers. We are not like the globers at all. We stick to facts and evidence. Do you guys realize I got out of religion? Then I went and found atheism and said, oh, here's all the answers. And what did I do when I was there? I found out it was a religion. And I said to my wife, we're going to start over. We're going to build our beliefs from the ground up. And I found the flat earth. And it was like, great, we can be open-minded here. And we are searching for the truth and looking at evidence and not going by scientism, etc. And then now I'm forced into this position where I realize, wait a second, I'm in another fucking religion.
Jaron, that is awesome. I and many other debunkers have said for a long time that the flat earth seems like a religion. And if a flat earther thinks that as well, then we are clearly right. Your position on atheism, I completely disagree with you. Atheism isn't a religion. Now, obviously, I don't know what your personal experience was, and this isn't a video about atheism. But I do completely agree with you that the flat earth seems more like a religious cult than it does anything else.
Another one. How do I know? Because people are spitting dogma to me every day. Jaron, doesn't matter what we see down there. You're looking at lights in the sky. What difference does it make? It makes a difference because we know what the sun does. If you guys aren't smart enough to get this, please stop watching me. Please, unsubscribe, whatever you got to do. How do you not know that the sun travels around the Earth in 24 hours? Do we know that as a fact? Thank you. Does it have to bring sun and light to all the places that get sun and light every day? Thank you. Then if the sun goes behind somebody in Antarctica, how is it over across the Earth lighting Australia? Now again, I don't believe this happens. This is why I'm the only one telling you the truth. I'm the only one standing up and saying there is no 24-hour sun. They will cancel this trip. They will muck up the sky. There will be no 24-hour sun.
And that's exactly what I mean when I say that Jaron is confident in his position. He just said it then. He does not believe that he's going to see a 24-hour sun when he's in Antarctica. We all know that he will, but at least he's brave enough to put himself at risk by going. And before anybody jumps on what I just said, I don't mean at risk of anything nefarious. I mean at risk of being ostracized from the flat earth community. But it would seem that that's already started happening just because he said that he's willing to possibly go.
Said that from day one. And then I go into if there is one and everyone falls apart. What do you mean? Because I said if there is an observation that's impossible on our model, then that would call into question our model?
Well, technically speaking, if there is a 24-hour sun in Antarctica in December, which there will be, it doesn't call your model into question. It completely destroys it.
Oh, no, everyone, oh, no, it wouldn't. We can still be flat no matter what observations we see. There might be 35 suns, Jaron. You don't know that there's not 167 suns, Jaron, and there's sun over here and there's sun over there. We don't know. We do know. We do know.
So not one sun and one moon per person then, as CC claimed in my video from Tuesday. Flat earthers know exactly what the final experiment is doing to the flat earth belief. And everything that you were bringing up, Jaron, which is all similar to the things I brought up when I responded to Eric Dubay, is nothing more than panic. And when I say panic, I'm talking about other flat earthers, not Jaronism himself, because he clearly understands that we have one sun.
Think about how everybody laughed at Pac-Man. Now you guys are believers in Pac-Man. The sun somehow is morphing through one side of the Earth and coming out the other. Both people are saying, oh, but Jaron, they could use a sun simulator. You're kidding yourself. The sun simulator sits in like a warehouse and emulates the sun. It is not up in the sky. What are they going to move it on a balloon? Is a little helicopter going to carry around the fake sun and me and Austin are going to be fooled? Oh, is that helicopter above the sun all day? Is that just normal? Yeah, it's normal here now. Oh, okay, we were just wondering.
Absolutely perfect. Now, the only thing I would like to correct you on is that it's not a sun simulator. It's a solar simulator, and it seems that you know this. And it's meant to simulate the sun's rays intensity in a laboratory setting. And what you just said about the helicopter is absolutely brilliant, because even I didn't think of that. If they are going to use a simulated sun to fool you and wits it in Antarctica, how the hell is it going to be held up in the sky?
People don't want to face facts. It's pretty embarrassing. You guys have been an embarrassment. And I don't mean people watching the show, because I tend to think if you're here watching this, you're not one of those, but I could be wrong. Let's continue with Eric's video.
In typical Globe Defender strawman fashion, Will is conflating a celestial observation with our terrestrial foundation. He's claiming that the motion of a light in the sky over...
This is not Eric's position 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. But that's okay. With you guys, see, watch this. I'm not looking at the chat right now because I know what's there. But what you guys will have happen is this guy's just changing his tune, but because he is feeding into your belief system, you allow it. That's a religion.
Exactly, and I couldn't have said it any better myself. It baffles me why somebody like Eric Dubay is so revered by people who say that they believe the Earth is flat. He's nothing more than a con man.
In reality, the existence of a midnight sun in Antarctica no more proves the globe than the non-existence of a midnight sun in Antarctica proves the flat Earth. It's tantamount to inviting a contractor.
Think of what he just said. So then he said something that there is no... Let's listen again.
Proves the flat Earth. The existence of a midnight sun in Antarctica no more proves the globe than the non-existence of a midnight sun in Antarctica proves the flat Earth.
The non-existence of a midnight sun in Antarctica doesn't prove the flat Earth? What are you talking about? It's required on their model, dipshit.
But the problem I'm coming across now when I'm looking for flat earth content to react to is that so many different flat earthers are claiming to not believe in that model anymore. And it's only started happening since the final experiment was announced. Weird, right?
How did you become such a shill? It's required on their model. Why would you ever say that? Something that's required on the globe model that we go and observe isn't proof that their model is wrong?
Well, he became such a shill because of the amount of money he's probably made by saying that he believes the Earth is flat. And I'm with you on this one, Jaron. Yeah, if there's no 24-hour sun in Antarctica in December, that's a huge problem for the globe. And I myself have said, and I know that MC Tuna said the same thing, that if there's no 24-hour sun in Antarctica when you visit there with the final experiment, I'll have to look at my position as well. But unlike most of the flat earthers I'm coming across talking about the final experiment, it doesn't worry me to say that because I have got 100% confidence in the appearance of a 24-hour sun in Antarctica.
It is absolutely falsifying their model. Do you not understand a thing?
He definitely understands, but the problem with Eric Dubay is he is a liar and he will say anything required so that his grift can continue.
Listen to this. If anybody in the flat earth, and I mean anybody, from Level Earth Observer, myself, P-Brain, David Weiss, Austin Whitsitt, you name it, Alan, Space Audits, Toby, any of these guys, if we had an opportunity to bring together the entire flat earth community and rally around some subject or some topic or whatever, that if we had the ability to bring everybody back together as a cohesive unit, we would do it in a heartbeat.
And that perfectly highlights another problem I have with flat earthers. It's not just that they say the earth is flat when clearly it isn't. It's the fact that it's a different version of a flat earth depending on which flat earther you hear from. If there was any real plausibility behind the whole flat earth theory, then every single flat earther in the world, without question, would be pushing the exact same model. But that's not the case.
Eric Dubay could step forward and be president of the flat earth tomorrow. Not one person would object. Not one person. But instead, he's spent 9 years demonizing and calling a shill every single creator that has showed up. Get it again. Every single YouTube creator. ODD, myself, David Weiss, go through the list. Mark Sargent, Patricia Steer, you can start going. Math Powerland, you name it. Every single one of us he's called a shill. That is what a shill would do. Think of how he's kept the flat earth segmented. He has caused more division than anybody else, and people still bow to him like he's some king.
And that's something else I've said in my flat earth debunking videos in the, over the 6 years that I've been making this type of content. I can always tell if somebody is an Eric Dubay fanboy because they just regurgitate his buzzwords. It's pathetic. Learn to think for yourselves, which is what Jeronism is clearly doing, thinking for himself.
These are the same people who now are being told, hey, there's an observation that's impossible on this model. And they're like, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Oh, okay. Well, then don't call yourself a truther, please. You are somebody who's just going to latch on to whatever works for your belief system.
Yeah, well, that doesn't really narrow the field when it comes to flat earthers. Most of the flat earthers I come across online all just want a bunch of yes men patting them on the back, telling them how great they are. Facts seem to be secondary, as long as what they are told by others reinforces what they already believe.
Or be a truther and say, no, Jaron's right. This is a problem for the flat earth if it happens. But people can't even say that. Where are the people standing up and saying that?
Well, I guess that makes me a truther then, because I agree with you, Jaron. It's a huge problem for flat earth.
That's why I'm able to say that if I saw something that's impossible on my model, I would come back and say, guess what? Our model is wrong. But oh, Jaron, he's a shill. Oh, he's saying that if observations don't match our model, that our model's wrong.
Yeah, but that doesn't make you a shill. That makes you honest. And talking about being honest, or in the case of Eric Dubay being dishonest, Jaron is just about to play a video that completely destroys everything Eric Dubay said in the video that Jaren and myself have both responded to.
For several days or even weeks, depending where you are, you can watch the sun travel 360 degrees around you, slowly rising and falling every 12 hours, but never fully setting below the horizon.
Now, I'm not going to play any more of that clip because I know a lot of you feel like Eric Dubay's voice is like nails on a chalkboard, and I don't completely disagree with you. But you said in the video I responded to that the midnight sun or the 24-hour sun in Antarctica no more proves the globe, and I want to get this right, than the absence of a 24-hour sun proves the Earth is flat. And it says that the midnight sun proves the Earth is flat and not spinning. Which is it, Eric? That's a massive change in your position. So let's see what Jaren says about it.
There is, in fact, never 24-hour sunlight anywhere in Antarctica.
There is, in fact, never a 24-hour sunlight anywhere in Antarctica, says Eric Dubay. People love him, says Eric Dubay. Who's the shill? Who's the shill who now says, even if they do see it, and let me read Lady Blunt tell you that that we have seen it, but I'm going to tell you here that it doesn't exist.
Because even when the sun reaches its outermost circuit over the Tropic of Capricorn, the entirety of the Antarctic circumference cannot be reached by its light at any one time.
Right, exactly. It's impossible.
And so it will still set every day.
Right, because if it didn't, then that is evidence of the globe.
I tell you what, Jaren, and this is a genuine suggestion. Once you've been to the Antarctic and the final experiment has demonstrated to you that the Earth is a globe, which we all know it's going to, you've got one hell of a career ahead of you as a flat Earth debunker, pal. And I mean that sincerely. You are literally tying Dubay up in knots.
Okay, let's go to the next piece of evidence showing that he's just flip-flopping on you.
The midnight sun being seen only in the northern regions is evidence against the globular theory. If the world were a globe...
Wait, what? I thought you said it's not. You just did a whole video saying that the opposite of what you just said. Is it or isn't it?
Against the globular theory. If the world
You
is
said
not
it's not evidence against. You said it's not evidence against the globe. You just got done telling people it's not evidence against the globe if the sun sets.
Level or horizontal
Make
surface,
up your mind.
Although some people would have us believe it is.
Isn't it weird that once somebody says they're going to go down and observe something you've been lying about, you switch your opinion?
Yeah, weird. Not the word I would have used, but we'll go with weird.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that flat earthers were so dumb. This is something that's just been brought to my attention. Flat earthers are dumb. Anyone telling you that it doesn't matter is dumb. Now, you don't have to believe me. Go ahead and believe whatever you want. Believe who you want. I'm telling you the truth. They're lying to your face. If you are a truther, you'll choose the truth. You wouldn't choose the person lying to your face, would you?
Yeah, they would. Or at least a lot of them will. They will hang on every word Eric Dubay says simply because he's Eric Dubay.
The funniest thing about this all is I don't think we'll see it. But I think people must think that we're going to see it. I'm not even sure why people are flipping out about it. If you're confident in the fact that there's no undersea cables, if you're confident about the plane flight distances and times being incorrect, if you're confident about why is the speed difference in the south versus the north, if you're questioning why the Vendée Globe maximum speed or world record speed 6 knots, if you're wondering why there is no 24-hour sun video footage that isn't faked, why are they faking 24-hour video footage? That should bring you to the conclusion that it does not exist. And if it doesn't exist, then it's easy to say, hey, I'll go down there and look at it, and it will prove that the Earth is flat. And if I do see it, then that shows us that our model's wrong.
And that's exactly why I've decided to make this video response to your live stream, Jaren, because you are the only flat earther who is seeing the final experiment for the opportunity that it is for both sides. Because if we are wrong, imagine how stupid we're all gonna look. But if you are wrong, are you then gonna come across to our team? That's my question to you.
You can't say that in this community. Nope, Jaren, no matter what you observe, doesn't change anything. We're going to believe this no matter what from now on forever. Okay, you're not a truther. You found a religion, you've adopted it, you don't care about evidence.
Well, that was different, wasn't it? Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Love you, bye.